Once upon a time, people were frightened by the appearance of crop circles. Now the panic's caused by mysterious holes appearing on the world ocean floor. What are they? Are they dangerous? And why do they appear? Let's find it out. This is Infinity, and in this episode I'll tell you about these mysterious ocean holes as well as other unusual phenomena and mysteries of the ocean. This unusual phenomenon was discovered off the coast of the Pacific Ocean. Near California, researchers from Monterey discovered 5,200 large holes on a stretch of 1,300 kilometers. On average, these holes were 175 meters in diameter and about 5 meters deep. Moreover, several small holes are concentrated near the larger holes. They're 11 meters in diameter and 1 meter deep. All of these holes are round in shape, and no one can explain what exactly caused their formation. One of the most incredible facts about these holes is the exact determination of their age. According to scientists, they were formed 400,000 years ago. It's believed that they existed before the appearance of Homo sapiens. Scientists have also examined the composition of the holes and have concluded that it's not changed at least over the past 15,000 years. It turns out that these holes appeared on the California coast long before the first humans arrived here. First humans came to this place 13,000 years ago. Some scientists believe that methane ejection is the cause of these holes. Methane is forcefully blown out and leaves cavities behind it. However, water analyses have not confirmed this hypothesis. There was no methane in the composition of the water. Other scientists attribute the appearance of the holes to ocean currents or to the activity of the sea creatures over hundreds of thousands of years. To that end, a 2018 study was conducted by the Oceanography Center. Scientists used an underwater vehicle that dived 4 kilometers. Between Hawaii and Mexico, 3,500 such seafloor anomalies were found in an area commensurate with the central London area. The size of the found holes did not exceed 2.5 meters in length and 13 centimeters in depth. At first, scientists assumed that these are the tracks of some creature, but none of the currently known living creatures is capable of leaving such traces at such a depth. In general, the ocean keeps many secrets and mysteries. Black holes in space were discovered before holes in the ocean floor were discovered, although the fact that such holes exist could be calculated mathematically. Teams of scientists from the ETH Zurich, as well as from the University of Miami, using computer simulations and satellite tracking, have discovered unusual large craters that form in the ocean. They resemble black holes found in space. As you know, nothing, including living organisms, can avoid being sucked into a black hole if it comes close to it. Same's here. Anything that swims and lives in the ocean can't avoid being sucked into these holes. It's also where all the garbage ends up. In a sense, these holes clean the ocean water by sucking up the garbage and drifting the water from north to south. One of the biggest ocean sinkholes, the Great Blue Hole, was made famous by the French explorer Jacques Cousteau. He found out that the amount of oxygen present in the Great Blue Hole was insufficient for any organism to survive or for complex life forms to develop within it. In 2019, Fabien, grandson of Jacques Cousteau, together with billionaire Richard Branson, dived to the bottom of the ocean in a special vehicle to a depth of 124 meters. The width of the hole itself is 300 meters. At the bottom of the ocean, they found many shellfish skeletons which had died from lack of oxygen. Scientists have tried to recreate the conditions for the appearance of holes in the water floor. They conducted experiments with soil similar in composition to the seabed. Salt water was added to such a surface, and the soil absorbed it. The surface of the seafloor mostly consists of chalk coated with sea salt. It also contains calcium, which gets there from the skeleton of sea creatures. It's a real safety bag, protecting the seafloor from carbon dioxide in the water that's destroying coral reefs. Increasing concentrations of carbon dioxide in ocean water leads to acidification. So what happens if the acidity of the water increases continuously? The answer is tragic. It threatens to kill all of mankind. It's difficult to relate the appearance of holes on the California coast ocean floor to the great activity of carbon dioxide. But the destructive processes in the world ocean are a clear indication of how much our planet is suffering from emissions. It's been hypothesized that holes on the ocean floor help regulate the world ocean level. The only question is whether they can handle it globally. In any case, scientists continue to study this mysterious phenomenon, and perhaps they'll make many more interesting discoveries. The world ocean is an understudied place. Scientists are thought to have explored only a few % of the world ocean, so it's no surprise that the ocean boasts a host of other interesting phenomena and mysteries. Stay tuned to learn about some of them. Unexplained sounds. What does the ocean sound like? Some rather strange sounds have been recorded by hydrophones of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The names of these sounds, like roar or bloop, do little to solve the mystery surrounding them. The hydrophones, set thousands of kilometers apart, recorded one of the loudest sounds ever recorded off the southern tip of South America. The roar, in some ways, mimicked the sounds of marine animals, but if it were any sea creature, it would have to be tens of meters long. So what was making this sound? We can only speculate about this, but in addition to the hypothesis of deep-sea monsters, scientists believe that the most likely explanation for the sound is the collapse of a large iceberg. Red tide. A red tide is a large-scale bloom in the water caused by the reproduction of algae of the Dinoflagellates group. Single-celled organisms divide on an enormous scale and form a dark red membrane visible to the naked eye near the surface of the water. This is the very tide. Such tides are very harmful to all life because algae contains harmful toxins. As a rule, the effect of red tides is not limited to animals. The toxins that algae release can cause breathing problems in humans, especially if you have asthma or allergies. The substance can enter the human body not only from contaminated water, but also through the food chain. People eat shellfish, and they're the first to get a dose of toxins from the blooming algae. Underwater waterfalls. Recognized as one of the most beautiful places on Earth, Mauritius is an island state in the Indian Ocean. At the southern tip of the island, there's a mesmerizing view, an underwater waterfall. From a bird's-eye view, it looks stunning, but it's not really a waterfall. The deceptive landscapes formed by coral reefs, sand, and sludge deposits that are set in motion by underwater currents appear to be bizarre cascades. Their swirling streams plunge straight down to the ocean floor. Hence the feeling of we're looking at an underwater waterfall, which looks something like 3D graffiti painted right on the sea. But underwater waterfalls do exist, and sometimes they're surprisingly large. It's believed that the largest waterfall in the world is Angel Falls in Venezuela, with a height of almost a kilometer. In fact, technically, the largest waterfall is considered Denmark Strait Cataract. Its size is about 160 kilometers. The waterfalls, 3,505 meters from the Greenland Sea to the Irminger Sea, carrying about 5 million cubic meters of water per second. It's amazing. Milky Seas effect. For hundreds of years, sailors have told stories of the mysterious phenomena of the Milky Seas seen far out in the Indian Ocean. Sailors would pass kilometers of milky, luminous waters, sometimes extending as far as the eye could see. In 2005, a team of scientists led by Dr. Stephen Miller of the Naval Research Laboratory in Monterey decided to study the story more closely to see if it was true. They were able to record about 235 observations and obtained a satellite image that showed an area of low light in the Indian Ocean about the size of the state of Connecticut. The samples they collected showed the presence of bioluminescent bacteria known as Vibrio harvii in the water. They can use light to attract fish because their favorite habitat is in the animal's gut. Scientists suggest that because they emit very weak light on their own, they have to gather in groups. Their collective glow can grow to enormous size of a Milky Sea. But this is still only a guess, since Dr. Miller and his colleagues have not determined exactly what causes the bacteria to get together. Whirlpools. A whirlpool is an interesting phenomenon that occurs in rivers, seas, oceans, and other bodies of water. In addition, it can also be observed in other conditions. For example, when draining water in a sink or bathtub. The reason for this phenomenon is that chaotically moving molecules transfer momentum between the layers, thereby equalizing the speed of movement. This is why water in the resulting whirlpool moves horizontally. As soon as a part of the liquid starts to rotate in a spiral, all the other molecules get involved in this process as well. One of the most powerful currents is located in a small strait in Norway. The water here reaches an impressive speed of 58 kilometers per hour. Up to 52 million cubic meters of water pass through this strait every 6 hours. Massive whirlpools up to 13 meters in diameter and 8 meters deep arise here when two different currents collide. That's all, guys. What interesting facts about the ocean do you know? Share them in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you later.